That's fine. I think everyone knows my name is Steve anyway. I don't really mind.
Oh my god, if we were gonna say to people you're gonna dox, man, we'd have like the giveaway going on in the AMA today.
Okay, someone's got a horrible echo in the background.
That was me. Sorry about that. I was just sorting out the audio.
Okay.
Multiple devices and a broken phone.
You still got that broken screen of yours?
Yeah.
Oh God. I liked that when we came on and Zach was saying, hello, Bezogians, and the captions said, hello, submissive genes. That's what it's. I don't know if anyone else noticed that. And you guys laughing, it just said fuck as the captions. I'm sorry, but that's I don't know.
That's funny.
I maybe need to turn the off because there's a lot of memes just in the captions alone.
Well, AIs are not perfect, right? So what can you do?
That's true.
Are we waiting for anyone else?
Is Doglord joining?
I'm joining from Zach's handle as well.
Oh, you're sitting with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Zach, on Nick, I think you have my Binance ticket.
Yeah, you might have to print another badge.
I don't think it's possible. Oh, you lost it?
I mean, we're looking around.
For like 30 minutes.
Yeah, I maybe left it there. I think he did though, not me.
Okay. No, but I mean, it's not. It's really lost. It's not like it's. I mean, yeah, because they're gonna question because they're scanning, entering, and exiting. So,
I think it was left on the table, or I don't know if Fernando ended up keeping it with him. We'll look through the car. We'll look through the car and all our bags.
We can discuss this on other channels, I think, rather than the AMA.
Okay, fair enough.
But Michael did say Binance, okay? So come on.
That's true.
It was crypto related.
Yeah.
I think for sure everyone will be interested pre and post event.
Precisely. And during event.
For sure.
Hey, if Charles is in the room, maybe someone could get him up as speaker as well.
I don't see him. Charles, if you're on, please request to speak. But anyway, should we get started? Who's starting off this week? Is it Benji?
Yeah, Benji's starting off. Yeah.
We're thinking maybe we'd start with the 100 billion winner announcement.
Oh, that's
or maybe we need to select the winner. So all the entries were closed. I think if we've got Paolo as a speaker, maybe Paolo, you want to share some of the data in terms of how many entrants there were, and then maybe we can commence the winner selection process at the beginning of the AMA and announce the winner at the end of the AMA. How would that sound?
Oh, you tease.
So yeah, I think let Paolo record the winning selection, and then we can share at the end who the winner is, and maybe share some data. I think we'll do it that way.
So Paolo, are you going to come on and discuss the data that you have?
Yeah, sure. So with the giveaway, it's posted on March 22, 1 p.m. UTC. We have 546 comments, 564 retweets, 612 likes, and only 503 valid entries. So we do have 503 valid entries that we will pick on to choose a winner.
Perfect. And Paolo, the competition ended 2 p.m., 1 p.m. yesterday?
1 p.m. UTC, March 27.
Perfect. And this is a weekly competition giveaway we're running. Not even a competition. You only need to follow really the simplest of mechanisms. So we'll be running it again every single week. The next one will start again tomorrow. So a fresh round, share, like, follow, retweet, and become a valid entry. You can see 1 in 500 chance of winning. It's pretty good odds if you sound, it's obviously pretty good odds to me.
It is pretty good odds. And the prize is 100 billion Bezoge tokens, I believe.
Correct. So then hopefully we announce the winner today. Winner gets in touch. We get that transferred over and we start again tomorrow. One more thing I want to add as well, actually. Happy Mother's Day to everyone yesterday. So if you're with your mamas, happy Mother's Day. Very much a lot of love to everyone's mums out there. So I just want
Shahid's a mama's boy.
I didn't get a chance to be with my mama this year, but hopefully end of the month, end of next month, I'll make a trip back. So yeah, looking forward.
He is quite a mama's boy. Like in between our calls, sometimes it's like, "Hey, hello, hey, mom, I'm in the call. Let me call you back."
Swiftly moving on.
That's at least 5-6 times a day on the calls I have with Shahid.
Yeah.
I'm not very sure about that. But anyway, I think let's after Mother's Day, let's maybe begin. Zach, do you want to start with corporate updates? Should we start same format like last week?
If you want to, I was hoping you do the game segment, and Charles just messaged me. He's connecting through, so he's part of the segment as well. So I want to wait until he's speaker.
Okay, love it. Let's go with development. Benji, do you want to begin?
Yeah, sure.
I think a lot to update on game. So Alpha was back up and running, but with that, take the floor, please.
Yeah. So yeah, we had like an alpha session last Thursday, and we'll keep doing that in the next few weeks, and there might be some other times for updates if it makes sense for the development. There will be this week there will be an alpha session same time as last week, so Thursday at 10 p.m. EST, and it should last 2 hours. I mean, last time we made 2 hours and a half because some people had trouble connecting, so we made it a bit longer, but yeah. And one of the main things we've added, like there are the new trees that have been added on the maps, and we've had really good feedback on them. Saying the game looks a lot better, and everybody was basically saying the same thing. We've also fixed quite a lot of stuff in the game. We've made some small changes, like in the controls and on the camera. It should look better already, like on widescreen, at least with the default settings. And yeah, so there is like still a lot to do for the development, but we like in the next couple of days we'll have the new tree system for Bezogia, and so this is in progress. We're like already working on it, and yes, I think this tree system is really nice. It has like a slight performance cost, but we can get this performance back from other things. We'll try a few things for that in the next couple of days, so that shouldn't be an issue at all. And yes, besides that, we're working on a weapon system, and so far it's working really well. It's the focus on most of our designers. They are like creating weapons like crazy. We're getting every day new models and new art to create the models, and soon we'll be able to add them in the game. So it's really exciting development on that aspect, and we can do it in a somewhat procedural way, which will help us add lots of weapons, lots of different types, and makes every breed different in very interesting ways. So it should be really cool to. It will be really cool to have when we release it in the alpha. Besides that, until the next couple of days, there are like a few smaller features that we're adding, like the fall damage, and we'll be adding the new UI, which is already designed, but it still needs to be integrated into the game.
People might be sad about the fall damage, Ben.
Yeah, we won't make it, especially now. We don't want to make it too. I mean, it won't be too bad. Like it will never kill you. Like if you have full life and you jump from a cliff, you won't die in the game. So we don't want really to make it a really annoying mechanic. You should still be feel free to jump from a very high tree or whatever, but it will be, and we might replace it at some point by some interesting stuff that will avoid you from just dying if you just jump from very high. So, but in the meanwhile, we still want to have this feature. It won't be too, but it won't cause too much damage. So don't worry too much about that.
People like the jumping. It's a cool thing about the game that I love just jumping off the really high points in the game. It's really fun just sort of flying and controlling the Bezoge in the sky.
And also trying to figure out your landing spot halfway through. Sometimes
yeah.
it's like a dynamic landing.
Yeah. We'll make it so that if you double jump just before you land, you won't get damage. Like it will kind of reset the height from where you jump. So if you jump from very high, and
Ben, I kind of like the introduction of maybe a parachute, dude. Like maybe a mini.
Like we're still like figuring out some of that stuff, but that's definitely something we'd want to have. Like not necessarily, it won't necessarily be a parachute, but it will probably be something along those lines, and we will like thinking about some ideas. Yeah.
I want to go shield surfing.
That would be fun. Yeah, so that's so that's pretty much it for the fall damage at least. And yeah, on the team we've just onboarded a new dev in the Chinese office, so he will be working on the enemy system. He's already got familiar with all the existing code and all the networking system. All this stuff takes a bit of time because it's somewhat complicated. So it needs to be kind of really understand it, and soon we'll have like a lot more people working into the game, because some people are like just training right now, getting used to the system. Like there are like two new devs that are on it, and once they will start really like adding code to the project, we will be able to move a lot faster on the game development. Because they have like a lot of experience, they are very talented developers, so it will be very helpful. And the other dev that has been like onboarded also is working on the quest system to implement some aspects of it.
We also have a game designer, a new game designer starting on Wednesday. We have, I think, 5 2D visual artists in the office right now, and then another, I think almost 5, I might be wrong, I think it's almost 5 3D artists as well. I'm trying to count them in my head. I think there's 5 now as well. So there's 10 people, 10, I believe.
Yeah, I think there's 5. Yeah, 5 3D designers.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm just counting them all out of my head. I think there's 5 of each. So we have 10 people on the content creation, like the modeling in the game, the artistic side of things. Then we have a load more devs coming in and game designers as well to work on the quests, to work on the mechanics of the game, and the integration of all the technology that we're building. The new office is actually almost full. I think I've said this a few times, but now it really is almost full. I was actually counting how many empty desks we have left today, just to make sure we don't hire too many people and overfill the office.
We might have to buy like 1 desk more, or 2 more desks. in the corners or something. I don't know if you have the space for it, but
no, I know. I already have a design to fit in more desks, so we can definitely fit a couple. I think we can fit in 3 more people than or 4 more people than the current layout if we just add a couple more desks. I know how to do it.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, the speed has been amazing. We talked about trees maybe 3-4 weeks ago. Birds only 1 or 2 weeks ago, and already we're seeing these features within game. So the development speed and turnaround to production is pretty phenomenal, from idea, concept, and then really getting it to development ready. I'm shocked.
And also those trees, from me mentioning it to the dev team, they actually implemented it the next day. Of course, it took longer to fix some of the issues with the colliders and stuff like that, but the design and the integration and testing them happened the next day. So we can implement things really fast. It's just a case of making sure we're implementing the right things.
Yeah, it's like we need to do everything like in the right order at the right time, etc. But like, yeah, once we have it with the team we have, we can get things done very quickly. And like on the designs aspect, is like for the weapons, we like right now the productivity is super high. So we're getting very good results. And we also have a new project manager for the office that will come the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I said. The game designer.
Oh yeah, game designer and project manager. So I think like it will be a perfect addition to the team. It's really something we needed. It will make everything go smoothly, and yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, because now we have 2. We have Sylvain in France, and now we have another guy in the Chinese office as well, working directly with the team in China. So it's going to speed things up a bit.
Yeah.
I'm very excited actually to see what we can put out. I've been very impressed by what the content team, like the artists and all the 3D team and 2D team have put out in the last the 1 week, right? Since we had that lockdown and we spent a lot of time on streamlining the art team and the content team, they've pushed out a lot in just a week. It's been really incredible to see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're in the art group, Ben, but there's images of weapons and things that they're designing going in there on a daily basis, like so much content.
No, it's really good. I think we should release some of it. I think we will release some of it in next couple of days.
Maybe if people would like to see it.
For sure, because we can start leaking, and then we can start leaking some of the animated versions of the weapons as soon as they're ready.
Yeah. You're working on that.
I can't wait to show more of the weapon system and how it works.
Yeah, it's really cool. It looks really nice. I think people will like it.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any more updates? Sorry, I cut you off. You were in the middle of your game updates, Ben.
No, I think that's it. I think that's it for the game updates. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. I don't know about you guys. From where I'm sitting, it looked like Benji's real cat is having a stare down with Shahid's digital cat. But that's just the way I can see it in my Twitter space.
I have a digital cat because I don't have a real one.
It does look like that for me as well, now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, it looks like they're having a stare down. But anyway,
that's your actual cat, Ben, right?
Yeah, it's my.
Hey, that's my
cat.
Well, Shahid, it's okay, man. Your cat's just as real as Benji's.
Hey, he's a few years old, 2018.
Oh, rarity. Well, let me jump into it. So, first of all, I'd love to say thank you to everybody, because the corporate segment that we added in got a lot of great positive feedback. And it was always something from a project's point of view where we've wanted to involve all the holders in the community into what's going on behind the scenes. Thus, as many people know, when it comes to Bezoge and Legends of Bezogia, it's always been an open, transparent development project. So I was very glad we were able to also bring in the corporate segment so that people would start understanding what's also going on behind the scenes from a corporate point of view. But another thing it ended up doing was it actually inspired the community when they started understanding exactly what we're trying to achieve. And a lot of feedback and ideas came. And that was something which was an amazing byproduct of last week's segment. So a lot of community members started throwing contacts our way, saying, hey guys, if you're looking at doing this, here, why don't you connect with these guys? Or if you're looking to do this, well, how about you make an approach over here? So, in the spirit of that, since a majority of a lot of our announcements are going to be due in April, what I decided this week is I wanted the corporate segment to also still be a bit informative, but this time I'm going to actually be calling Shahid, Charles, and Mike just a little bit to kind of just explain so that you guys are more educated and informed as to what is obviously what's included in the corporate segment, what we discussed last week. But also, hopefully, by being a little more informed, it might inspire you guys to even go out there and maybe look for things that we are looking for or connect with things that we are connecting with. So, to start off with, I'm just going to ask Shahid to come on real quick. Shahid's just going to explain to you um, the concept of what are guilds, because most of us just think that it's just a group of gamers. What is the value of those guilds and how they play a role with Legends of Bezogia? So, Shahid, if I could just kind of pull you in for a second so you could kind of give us a quick brief on that, please.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for the intro, Zach. So talking about guilds and what do guilds represent? Um, Even guilds for me was a bit of a learning experience coming into Bezoge because I think guilds, depending on the generation you are, kind of means different things. Currently today, a guild would be really considered as a professional group of players who have a common goal. They might be participating or competing against another guild. So effectively a professional group of players that often have some form of monetary incentive for participating also. But that's what would be considered more at the enterprise level of guilds, more professional guilds that tend to have huge audiences, whether that's live streaming on Twitch, YouTube, individual audiences and sponsorships. So guilds can take many different shapes and forms. And one of the views we're looking at specifically is one of the what do the larger guilds bring to us, and how can they help us grow in overall player base? But also it plays a huge part strategically for us. But then you've got other types of guilds, which might be smaller guilds, more local guilds. So a person might own 5 or 10 Bezogis and run a local guild in their community. There are great examples from the community where actually there are veterans who are really trying to support a lot of the local community when they're back off a tour. So what they're doing is that they're acquiring a whole bunch of characters or rentable NFTs, and then providing a local guild and giving something back to local school children who might not have a chance or have just a different upbringing, if you will. So guilds can take many different shapes and forms. And the guilds we're looking at specifically are a lot of the larger guilds that can help us achieve that 1 million player daily actives. And from looking at the analysis of when we've been going through Axie Infinity's growth, for example, you can see strategically, maybe 3 or 4 months into their launch of the game and the overall expansion of their player base, they tend to have a step change in their amount of players that you'd see month on month. And most of those step changes will be responsible by guilds and partnerships that they form that really bring a large player base to the platform. And in return, a large player base really provides a much more fun environment for everyone to play in, much more earning potential as well. So that's probably how I'd best describe guilds and what kind of guilds means for Bezoge. And like I say, typically guilds can mean different things in terms of different terminology. So I've been coming from a racing background. A guild might be considered a professional league in a tournament. So guilds can take many shapes and forms, e-racing, often many different guilds and participation in events, prize winning money. And I think the whole gaming industry alone is worth more than many of the other verticals that you can think of combined. So if I remember, I think the last cap I looked at in terms of gaming was around 300 billion. So yeah, significant money spent in gaming, whether it's guild competitions, participation in game, marketplace ecosystems, mechanics within game to help you level up. So a plethora of mechanics within gaming. Hopefully that's helpful.
Awesome, Shahid. Thank you so much for that. Thanks a lot.
No,
Yes.
I was going to also add that was actually a few of the questions coming through from the community that Carrie collected on the community side. So if there are any follow-up questions, please feel free at the end when we have a normal Q&A. Feel free to follow up with any further questions there might be.
Yeah, awesome stuff, man. Thanks a lot for that, Shahid. And yeah, in continuation of the talks with the guild, just wanted to let everyone know that apart from the ones that we'd mentioned last week, some of the larger guilds that we're working with, looking to create some kind of corporation or strategic partnerships, sponsorships, or many options. After last week's AMA, we were also approached by two smaller guilds, and that was very impressive because it was appreciated that out of the community we connected with them, because Bezogia is obviously all about inclusion. Goes down from the rental systems that we're creating to create maximum inclusion. And the reason we extended on the guild section today is as well so that all you guys out there listening to us right now live or in the recaps, you can understand that we would appreciate to keep improving and adding more and more guilds. So it doesn't matter whether small guilds, big guilds, publicly listed guilds, or corporate guilds. You know, we're very open and welcome to inviting them to our community to understand the experiences they're looking for from a gamer's point of view or player's point of view, ways that we could improve for more participation by these institutions or groups. Okay.
Zach,
Moving on.
I would probably just add there as well, just on the guilds. So different size guilds offer different benefits for when they participate. So for example, some of the smaller guilds that might be only 10, 20 players, they can really help in the alpha testing phase. So there's a lot of benefits for different size guilds, no matter how big or small you are. And one thing also I wanted to mention that I briefly slipped my mind. When we participate with some of the larger guilds, as you'd know, we keep some Bezogis in reserve in our treasury. So some of those treasury assets are used strategically to bring on board some of these larger guilds, which would require a number of Bezogis for their player base. And on the guilds conversation, we are in the final stages. You could almost say we're at the final signature negotiation stage. It will happen. For sure, there will be some really exciting announcements in the coming months, I would say. But I leave it on that note. Thank you, Zach.
Obviously, announcements are always made to the community once things are 100% confirmed. So watch this space. But it is an area we're working on. We're already progressing on. We're looking at some success already. But to everyone in the community, to all the Bezogians and non-Bezogians as well, we're very open to talking to as many guilds as possible at this stage of our product development. So, yep, appreciate anything that comes out from any of you guys, as always. Moving on, I'm gonna bring Charles on. So, like last week, we spoke about guilds, we spoke about centralized exchanges, we talked about partnerships. So, I'd like to call Charles on to kind of discuss what kind of partnerships, especially when it comes to real world partnerships, what are the use or the reason of it to work with a decentralized project, what is the utility, and what is the value that we can potentially bring to the ecosystem. So, Charles, I'm going to give the mic on to you.
So yeah, metaverse is very generic terms now, and I believe that it can be very successful in terms of two things. If it's able to be super fun, and if it really connects the daily life with the real metaverse, actually. So it means that we need to find bridges to be able to connect the real life services to the virtual world. And if we are successful with this, then it can be a big opportunity for all the community and for everybody to use the metaverse. So basically, we started to think about what could be the real usage that we could have for some real services into this kind of metaverse or games. And the first obvious choice was to say, okay, we're going to be a play and earn game. So what do we do with the proceeds, for instance? What do we do with this? And so, of course, we're going to make new weapons. We're going to do plenty of nice stuff. But at one point, maybe you're going to be willing to get some more services or to cash out simply. So we said, okay, we're going to integrate maybe a crypto exchange. And then we say, okay, but crypto exchange may be not enough. So maybe a bank. So we could work with a bank as well and integrate the bank. But what happens when I'm starving actually and I'm playing at the same time? So maybe we should integrate like a delivery style kind of service. And all these kind of things is like limitless. And of course, you can think about real interactions between real objects to the metaverse. And in this case, NFT is very good. We got plenty of NFTs. We can find some usage, or it's just like collectibles, but it can be very useful as well in the real world. And we can connect real objects with real NFTs that we can use within the game. So we are all thinking about this, and of course it's limitless. And this is where we count as well on the community to help us to navigate all kind of nice ideas that you could come with, because we got plenty of ideas on our side, but I'm sure you're gonna have like plenty of ideas as well on your side. So basically we are looking for right now to connect luxurious brands, daily brands, within this meta space, because we believe it can bring value for the gamers in terms of, again, daily usage, or like simply bringing value because we're going to have plenty of new stuff to win or to earn. So yes, that's basically where we are going to actually. So again, bringing real services within the meta space and vice versa. And if we close this loop successfully, then it's going to be the first metaverse in a kind, being able to be fun and at the same time very useful for you. So let's say that your Bezoge is eating a pizza again. Maybe we're going to ask you the question, do you want to have the real pizza at home as well at the same time? And if you can pay with your Bezoge or with your blocks, maybe this makes a huge difference, because then you don't need to do anything at all, but just getting the pizza out. So of course, it means that we need to get some partnership with some DeFi service, financial services, to transform all those blocks or Bezoge into something like a fiat service. And then we need to get a partnership with a Deliveroo or Uber Eats or whatever to get the real food into your place. So that's all the kind of chain that we are looking for, of course, right now. But it's, again, limitless. So we can think about plenty of applications. I don't want to be too into it right now, but we're gonna discover week after week the kind of partnerships that we are establishing and the kind of application that we're seeing through the real world. I'm just like keeping up teasing you week after week, but it's going to be more realistic week after week as well. So yeah, that's basically where we are ending up. So of course, we are counting on the community as well to help us to find some new ideas, some new brands. If you can get some introductions to some various industries where you think it can create value for the game, feel free. We are here to of course listen to you and to answer any questions you may have.
Hey man, thanks a lot for that, Charles, and really thank you, Charles, for actually kind of opening our eyes to this amazing vision of integration, which will increase player engagement, as well as how much time. Basically how much time they end up spending in our metaverse when certain services like this or certain modular aspects like this are inbuilt. So, like Charles said, guys, always looking for these inspirations, always looking for these ideas. And now that you guys know what we're already working on, we're excited to announce a lot of the progress done by Charles in this department in the coming month of April. But also for you guys to also have an idea and maybe hopefully feel inspired through this to, kind of go out there and also see maybe something in your reach, and you could make it available to us as a project. So thank you, Charles, and thank you everyone else.
And Dak, just to give a little bit more color before we end up there, just think about something. We just took an example of the watch, okay? Just think a watch can be a magical item within the game. But there is not only watches. There are plenty of other items that you can think about and that could bring some values. So guys, again, if you get some real interesting contact with any kind of daily items that you
Did we lose him? I think we lost Charles.
Oh, I thought it was me. It's usually me, but yeah, I can't hear Charles either. Yeah, he disappeared. I think he was saying if anyone has any ideas or connections to these sort of brands and products and has any ideas about that, please feel free to get in touch with us and let us know.
Hello?
There he is. He's back. There we
go. I've been cut off. Where did you lose me? Hello?
When you were talking about people bringing in connections to like brands and products.
Okay, sorry guys. So yeah, I was just saying that if you can get us the right introductions, then we will gonna be able to save most probably weeks and months of hard work establishing the right contacts level and everything. So right now we are in many different places and the ball is moving fast, but still it's never enough. So again, communities first.
Well, we do have an amazing and fantastic community, so I hope the message goes out loud and clear.
Cheers.
Fantastic. All right, thanks for that, Charles. Okay, guys, next on the list is the sex announcements, or the section where we're discussing operating with centralized exchanges. But in that regard, the first thing I really wanted to do, and I'm going to call Michael on this, is to basically give you guys a little bit of a quick breakdown. I know it sounds a little basic, but exactly what are centralized exchanges and what are decentralized exchanges, and what are the products that are being offered now? Because obviously the ecosystems have grown larger than just a coin being listed. So I'm just going to invite Michael and engage Michael real quick to just give us a quick brief on that, so that all of us can understand that aspect better as well. Mike, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks, Zach. Hey everyone. So I think it's I'm going to start by briefly going into an old adage. Old for the crypto people, as old as crypto is, as it could be. But you probably heard before the famous sentence: "Not your private keys, not your crypto." I think that's what initiated the whole idea of creating decentralized exchange, or DEX. And the concept of decentralized exchange is giving the ability to users through a smart contract on a blockchain to trade one token for another through the liquidity pools that have been filled up with tokens. And there is a concept inside this decentralized exchange called automatic market making that's going to match the pair that you're going to trade automatically depending on the amount of resources within the pool. So the concept of decentralized exchange that we're saying is at every single step of the way, you consistently and continuously own the tokens that you're swapping through the execution of the smart contract. Just for an extremely brief amount of time, you will not own tokens during that time. But the concept is make sure that you always keep control through your private keys and your wallet of the trades that you're doing on chain. The drawback is that every time you trade using a decentralized exchange, you will pay gas fees, whether it's through a proof of work chain like Ethereum for now, or through proof of stake chain like Polygon or Avalanche or any of these layer 1 blockchain. Obviously, once proof of stake and ETH 2.0 is here, we can hope that the gas fees are going to go down. And obviously, the trades on decentralized exchanges are going to take even more prominence versus centralized exchange. But it's really clear at this stage that all the centralized exchange like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, etc., represent probably 90% of the amount of volume of trade currently in the cryptocurrency markets. An evolution. So to continue around that private key and ownership of the tokens, when you want to trade on a centralized exchange, you're going to open the app or the website of that centralized exchange, and it's going to tell you this is the address you need to send this specific token on that blockchain. So basically, you're going to send from your private wallet through just a transfer out transaction, no execution of any smart contract, so the gas fees are usually really low, to an address on that specific blockchain still, but that's going to be controlled and owned by the centralized exchange. And the way it works is that centralized exchange is going to sign all transaction on the blockchain on your behalf and on behalf of everybody that owns these specific tokens on that blockchain. And then when you trade on the centralized exchange, they have their own database, their own matching engine, which is going to pair automatically bid and ask requests in order to find an acceptable and a suitable trade and clear it, which is a lot more comparable to what traditional exchange in the capital markets work, like NASDAQ, NYSE, CME, or any other traditional exchange. The evolution over time, of course, is that all these big centralized exchanges have grown tremendously in the last 5 years specifically, and they have created a whole ecosystem of different things that can be traded or promoted, or they're investing in and promoting. So it grew from just matching and pairing crypto trades with other cryptos or fiat money, and then be the potential enabler for on-ramping and off-ramping of fiat money on and off the crypto and the blockchain. But they've grown with NFT marketplace, with initial launches of various types of tokens, of like, for example, the blocks that we're going to have. It's called an IGO, or initial game offering. So NFTs marketplace launch, and various other things that basically making these ecosystems extremely powerful. And all of them have, over time, also created their own layer 1 blockchain. For example, the BSC, or the Binance Smart Chain for Binance, or the OKX blockchain, or FTX blockchain. They all have their own token and their own blockchain, where they try to promote within these ecosystems crypto projects and companies that they've invested in. I brushed a lot of topics. I hope I wasn't too fast, but I'm trying to cover everything. So
No, you're
in a
amazing,
nutshell,
Michael, man. You're going just right, man.
sorry?
No, you're going just right, man. It's just right. You are crunching a lot of information very quickly, but I'm enjoying it.
It's a
It's
good
good.
thing we have the snippets, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, so that's basically the differences between CX and DEX. One, you're entrusting a third party, like an exchange, to own your crypto and protect them properly. And then when you're finished, you can withdraw them to your wallet. But the cost of trading is extremely low. Hence, the volume and the liquidity can be extremely high. And in decentralized exchange, you stay within the ecosystem that's completely safe, secure of the blockchain, but the cost of transaction is a lot more expensive, and the mechanics is not as liquid as it is on larger amount of volumes, and to avoid market impact than on the CEX. I think I'm done.
All right. Yeah, no. That was great. So, yeah, guys, basically, the message that we wanted to put out is, obviously, when it comes to centralized exchanges, it's something obviously internally the team is working on. This is not something that obviously anyone and everyone in the communities out there could assist with or provide ideas with. But if you do, I mean, you're more than welcome. But when it comes to decentralized platforms, looking at how many products have now gone out, whether it's like the game offerings or initial DEX offerings known as IDOs, or whether it's NFT rental pools, or it's a bit of liquidity supporting of other platforms to kind of, co-work together with other projects. There's a lot of things out there. So generally, I think Michael gave a very good explanation to kind of inform and inspire everyone out there again to kind of reach out to us if any of those ideas come up, or if there's a new platform that's come up and they feel that, hey, it would be great if our token was swappable there, or if our NFTs were, tradable on their marketplace, or one of many different ideas that are possible, many dozen ideas. Um, so moving on, the last part, obviously last week that was discussed was ecosystems partnerships, and then about the internal team. Already Steve and Benji did talk about it. There's been great progress in hiring. There's been great progress in team development, and there's been amazing productivity and efficiency running through the project and system right now. So I'm gonna end the corporate segment there. Uh, Definitely all the news, the big announcements, a lot of things that you guys are looking forward to when it comes to guilds, exchanges, partnerships. They're all due in the month of April, but we're going to keep continuing and developing on those partnerships. So it's not like it's done. It's not that just us signing a few contracts at this point means it's done. This is a continuous effort that we're going to carry out as a project and as a community. We'd also love for everyone to, get involved and set their provenance and also leave this mark in us, in our community. So that's it. I'm going to end it there. Thank you, guys. I think, Shahid, we can possibly move on.
Perfect, Zach. Thank you. And yeah, thank you, Charles, Mike, for the updates. Really very insightful. And a lot of questions get asked in the community. So it's great when we can touch on some of the corporate insights and mechanics that go on behind the scenes. But I think a continuation on with marketing. So it's been as normal. It's a always a busy week. It never really stops. Preparation for last week. Preparation for the trailer campaign has commenced. So we've started having our conversations with our PR agency, getting our editorial briefings ready. Basically getting the activation plan ready for switching on the full theatrical trailer. This is something that a lot of people have been waiting for. And yeah, we're in that final closing stage, and you can say activation mode now. So we're confirming global coverage. It will be via various wires. We expect quite a lot of pickup and placement from the theatrical trailer. It will be pushed on all social channels. We'll be running every mechanism you can imagine. And this will be a coordinated push across, different platforms, as well as with some of the different partners that we're working with. So a lot of activation conversations last week. Also email marketing preparation in terms of basic integration with the new site launch. So it'll be basic email capture, and then form capture for alpha sign up / beta when beta does get released at some point in Q2. Another update would be video safety content that Carrie has been producing, our resident community queen. So she's been producing some great content on safety tips. And yeah, we're going to have a couple of more produced this week, and then we'll release them all within YouTube and again across all the social channels. That's really quite important for us, because as we grow and the community increases in size, we're naturally going to see, or we're going to become a magnet for various scams that constantly appear in our feeds. So we're constantly, it's a never-ending game. It will never stop. It will be something that we try and stay on top of, but they continuously evolve. So always try and be safe out there, especially if you're a new member in the community, just learning about Bezoge. Via Telegram, Discord. So a lot of those safety content videos will help with conveying that message and keeping you safe. And then on the social updates in general. So week on week, last week, we were slightly down in terms of frequency and output, but we saw overall higher engagement across the board. One of the reasons we were slightly down on frequency is because earlier on we realized we had quite a lot of AMA segments. So what we did intentionally was we kind of consolidated it. We consolidated a few of those snippets into longer segments, hence the slightly reduced frequency week on week. But overall, still a great week for social. Continue to push. We're starting to see again, more fruition from a lot of the preparation work from Carrie, Harris, Hamza, as well as Paolo, really, really working very hard behind the scenes. So thank you to the team for all your output and a lot of the late night hours that you're putting in. Thank you very, very much. And just to recap, actually, on social in terms of top performing content, we mentioned we've got the 100 billion giveaway. Really super exciting. It's the first week we're running it. I hope by now, Paolo, you've picked the winner, because soon we'll be coming to winner announcement time. But by far the most engaging in terms of content. It was expected in the social segment. As well as the AMA Origin block giveaway. So let's not forget, when we get 500 subscribers or 500 people in our Twitter spaces, we'll be giving away an AMA or we'll be giving away an Origin block. So again, in terms of value, you're talking $2,000 or $3,000 worth of value right there with the Origin block, on top of the 100 billion giveaway in terms of token. So really two successful pieces of content from last week. And Zach, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, the whole community and audience and all of the data showed the corporate development piece was a really highly successful piece in terms of engagement. So that was both shares, likes, questions, just overall really, really great update. So hence, obviously this week in the continuation on that theme, that'll be something we'll continue to do week on week. And I have no doubt it'll also be a successful segment from this week. So in terms of top performing content, that just gives you an idea from the previous week. And as kind of mentioned, I think last week, we kind of discussed we're in some really high profile influencer conversations. And the contract has been signed. So I don't know if we did mention that all last week.
I was about to say, sorry, Shai, to cut you off. That one part of last segment was influencers,
Yeah,
and I skipped on that. So
yeah, it's actually
as you were mentioning, and I mean, I to just follow up on what I was saying from last week. So we did have, and we have one big influencer that was signed off last week, but in the course of this week, we've signed off another very large influencer deal. So we've got two influencer deals on the table, signed off, finalized. So there is announcements that the community can anticipate very, very, very soon.
These are
Absolutely.
six-figure deals as well. Maybe Shahid can go into the bit of
Yeah,
six-figure
I mean,
deals and also paid in Bezoge.
yeah, paid in Bezoge. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. So accepting payment in Bezoge, 6-figure deal. Each deal was almost 6 figures. So significant investment in terms of the partner. It's an absolute right fit for us as a brand. And we're really, really excited to close that deal. So we're in the very early stages of planning. Preparation has begun for the campaign. And just to give you an idea in terms of influencer segment and size, we're talking 7 or 8 digits in terms of combined socials, in terms of following. So yeah, 10 million plus. So significant audience in terms of partners that we're bringing on board. And I'll probably stop with the surprise there because there's actually going to be something even bigger that I'll save until next week to announce that. But it is a continuation on the theme of the influencer that we've partnered up with. And maybe we'll run a teaser campaign in collaboration with the partner in the next month or so. Maybe a bit of a guess the influencer with a bit of a black silhouette. Who knows? But yeah, that'll be something.
You just reminded me of that black silhouette.
So yeah, who knows? It will be something fun to look forward to. Influencer, absolutely amazing for us. Super excited. We are in early stages of preparation activation will be in the next month or two. But yeah, something I think the whole meta space will be having eyes on Bezoge for. And I think what we've got in the bag, it's so off the hook, the world ain't ready. I can only say that. So really, it's just the whole theme. It's just, I mean, I have to be careful I don't spill the beans, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop now.
Shahid, I'm going to cut you off and quickly ask you a question that's anticipated as well. I think we have a switch over to the website, the new website this Wednesday.
This week, yeah. So the plan is if we can, we'll aim for Wednesday. But look, guys, we learned our experience in the first round with the first site. We definitely had some hiccups with the switch on the first site, and there were definitely some issues in the development that we had. So we definitely don't want to repeat those mistakes second time round. We're in a far better place. We're actually just in the final QA phases. So QA, just to give you an idea of diligence, what that means for me is Shahid going through each page individually, one by one, making sure that every single element and variable is correct and checked off. So that's something I spent endless hours going through in the night on after many back-to-back meetings. It's something I enjoy, I'm passionate about, I care about the quality of work that we put out. And this time round, we want it to be absolutely bang on perfect.
Can I actually, but yeah, we've been working really hard on the website. Me and Shahid have been on calls every single day going over all the updates, what's going on in development. It's looking fantastic. I've shown a few people and they said, man, this is exactly what it should have looked like the first time. And I agree. One thing that there are people discussing in the group, I want to mention the influencer that if we work with influencers, we don't want to just work with people that are going to do one video or one piece of content and then that's it. We're making partnerships, long-term partnerships with these influencers to represent the game. That is the goal that we have, and we've always said that. I know some people in the group are discussing saying, oh, you paid in Bezoge, are they just going to dump as soon as they promote it? That's not the case. We sign long-term partnerships of at least 1 year. In some of the situations with the influencers that we're talking with,
They're vested as part of the contract.
Well, they're vested as part of the contract, and we also sign NDAs that they can't advertise any other games. And these are, we're not just talking about influencers here that are sort of crypto influencers. These people are, in some cases, big celebrities, well-known household names.
Household 10 million. Name.
Exactly, 10 million and over 5 million just on Instagram alone. I mean, that's to give you an idea of the level of people that we're working with. We don't want to just go for, crypto influencers that are going to make one video and then dump their tokens. That is not what we do, and we've been very clear about that's never what we will do. So I wanted to just butt in, and just because I looked at the group in the middle of that conversation, I just wanted to be clear about that we never work with people and just pay them for one post. That's not what we do. These are long-term partnerships of
it almost feels like we're gonna now have a lot of community shows that are gonna say influencer with 5 million subscribers coming soon.
I mean, the thing is, this is exciting for everyone. Every single holder, whether it's Bezoge, NFTs, whether it's pets, whether it's Bezoge token, for us as the team, I think just for the whole community, what we're doing is we're working on a very, very strategic, clever, intelligent, relevant partnership for us as a game, for our partner. I think the mechanisms we're introducing are pretty amazing. I mean, literally, I mean, I'm in a lot of Discords, a lot of groups. There's not another campaign that I've seen yet that really kind of matches what we're going to present.
Yet your profile picture is a cat and not a dog.
Yeah, like you said, it's a standoff with Benji. I noticed what you said earlier, so I can see it on my Twitter screen.
But I know Shahid has like 30 Bezogis. So he definitely likes his NFT dogs as well.
I like my bulls, so I'm a big collector of the bulls. For sure.
That's true. You have a lot of bulls here. That's just your bulls, I think I'm talking about. I think you've got even more of the pets.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
some people would love to see their Bezoges as well.
Yeah. This is actually a valid question. When might we expect to see our pets in action?
You're gonna laugh. I actually had a conversation with Benji about that today. It's one of the first things that our animator is going to be working on is the
I
new
love it.
animator is with the animations of the pets. Yeah, because we want them to come in with us. We don't want to grab a lot of the elements of animations. We can take, you know, sort of stock animations because they work. But I think the pets deserve their own customized animations. They need to be really cool. They need to be super cute, and they need their own custom animations. So we're going to get them right before we're not
I
just
mean,
going to
they need
stick
to
with
be.
the game with some stock animations. You need to be really cool.
They
Now,
need to be
my
brilliant.
question was a loaded question with a double, a two pronged question, Steve.
Okay, what was the second prong?
I would love to see my Bezoges.
Oh,
He
okay, I
needs
get
his
it now.
pets. It's the in-game transfer mechanism. I need to send some to my uncle. My uncle's like, "Hey, dude, where's my pets, man? Uncle, if you can hear me, I know you're listening to this AMA. Like, when the boss sorts out the in-game transfer, I'll send them to you. I promise."
Yeah,
Mike, I'm
I've
waiting
got
to
it.
back into. I think so that people understand what's going on. I owe Mike like 200 pets, so I think I'm waiting until our developer has coded a bulk transfer function so that I can.
Yeah, I bought a lot of the pets in the end to try and wrap up the sales. I'm waiting for them. I'm anxious to open them up and open the box.
You've only been waiting. You've only been waiting like 6 months. You can wait another 6, Mike. It's okay.
Yeah, that's okay, Steve. No problem.
They're vesting. They're sleeping right now.
Exactly. They're
Fair enough.
vested, Mike. They're vested.
It's okay. I'm
Yeah.
not as frustrated as Bobby could be.
Okay, cool. I think that was it for marketing, though, in general. I don't know if there was anything else to add, but I think then we can probably move on to community and carry. And I'm going to do a bit of game. I'm going to put myself on mute.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Do we want to announce the winner now before we get into the questions?
yeah, let's do it.
giveaway winner.
Let's announce the winner. Let's do it.
All right. So, Paulo, did you already do the Twitter picker, the randomizer for the giveaway?
Paulo.
Hi, sorry, I was only. Hello, guys.
I was thinking you run off with 100 billion, bro.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we do the announcement, Paolo?
Yeah. I'm just recording it now, and then I'll post it later.
Very
Okay,
exciting. It's
so-
almost like Shahid. You should have some amazing sound effects on your.
I'm on my go XLR, right?
Yeah.
I feel my
Drum
PC.
roll.
I feel like next week AD can create us a nice like drum roll.
Oh, for sure.
And Shahid can load it up on his OS OBS, and we'll have it on his Go XLR. We can have that next week, I think, Shahid.
Yes, we can do that.
AD is on here. I expect a really amazing drum roll for next week.
It'd be great to get an intro and outro as well, AD. I'll send you a note.
I see Bobby Bezoge has a nice bull as his profile picture now as well. He switched it from his golden Bezoge.
He has one for every day of the year.
That's true. He's got one for every day of 3 years, actually, to be honest. Okay. Paolo, do you want to go on with revealing the winner?
Okay, sure. So 503 entries, one winner, and the winner is Shiny Bezojan. So congratulations, Shiny Bezojan.
Shiny Bezogian. All right. Congratulations, Shiny.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Shiny, if Shiny Bezogian is on the AMA, then feel free to request to speak.
Yeah,
and you...
I see Shiny Bezogian with his amazing ugly bunny. So why don't if you raise your hands up, Shiny, we could bring you up if you want to speak. Or well, since we're asking you to speak.
If you'd like to speak.
Yeah, if you'd like to speak, exactly. If you're in work or something and can't speak, then maybe
Well,
just go to the toilet and speak anyway.
Yeah, he's likely at work right now or sleeping.
Otherwise, if you're unable to, for sure, reach out to the team and then send in your details so we can send you over some funds, some Bezoge token.
Yeah, the official Bezoge account will, I'm assuming, will reach out to you via DM. Paolo, do you maybe want to go through the process just so that everyone knows what'll, just again for the security aspect, in case some scammers, as we were talking about security earlier, there may be some scammers that try to take advantage of shiny
Absolutely.
Bezogian now. So make sure. Do you want to say what the process will be, Paolo, just in case?
Yeah, so we'll verify the entry of Shiny Bezogen, and then we'll send him a message. So Shiny Bezogen, expect a message from this account, the at Bezoge account, and then we'll ask for your details.
Okay, awesome. So we'll only ever get a message from a DM from the official Bezoge account. No one will DM you on Telegram or anything like that. Although I am sending you a DM on Telegram right now to say congratulations. But I'm not going to ask for your seed phrase or anything like that.
But you do need the wallet address because you've got to send the transfer.
It's
Yeah,
like
but
whenever Dog Lord,
I'm joking.
whenever Dog Lord asks you on DM, "Are you available?" Always say no.
I get
Or
that.
if he asks for
I get
money.
that scam. I get that scam all the time. Doglord sending me messages. Are you available?
And you can answer, yes, I need money.
Yeah, that's not the real Dog Lord. The real
Yeah.
Dog Lord. The real Dog Lord will never DM you. None of the team will ever DM you. None of the founders. None of the any of the members from any of Legends of Bezogia or Bezoge will ever DM you first. Unless
Yeah.
I did DM Layla. Layla, I did DM you today, just the FYI, in case you're listening.
All right. Well, congrats again, Shiny. And I want to say thanks to everyone. Man, these AMAs are just getting better and better every week. I'm excited. And Shahid, thank you for going over the guilds. That was a huge number one question after last week's AMA. I can't tell you how many times I've been asked, what is a guild and how is it going to either benefit us or will it hurt us? Yeah, I was asked that question so much the past week. So thank y'all for going into more
And Carrie,
explanation.
one more thing I'd probably add is, and again, just as a recap, a big part of the guild partnership for us is player participation. But also very early on, while we're in the alpha stage, they give us a huge audience with their reach. So regardless of what games these guilds might be currently playing in, whatever the number one game may be, FIFA, what have you, the Legend of Bezogia brand and Bezoge brand overall will be highly visible, whether it's in their Twitch streams, to their clans, to their groups, to their followers. And that's something we'll look to activate very early on in these partnerships as we get these guilds on board. And then as the game develops, the players themselves become another form of activation within the game. So they have multiple prongs in terms of benefits for us. Hopefully, again, if any questions come up, feel free in Q&A.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right. So since you answered those questions, I pulled a couple of questions from Discord to add to my list. So I'll start. Is the renting process complete or is it still in the works? Do you guys have, I guess, the mechanisms finalized on that?
Can you say that again, sorry?
Is the renting, like the rental process, complete? Like all the mechanisms for the rental process, I guess. Or is it still in the works?
No, not complete, but we are working on it. Yeah, we are currently working on it, and it'll definitely be complete before the launch of the game. It's
Okay,
actually from development. We know exactly how it will be developed, and it is designed. It's just a case of actually coding it out. It's relatively simple in terms of the coding. Most of the complex part is actually the design of how the code will be written, but it's relatively simple to actually code out.
Yay. All right. And here's a good one. On day 1 of gameplay, will the Bezoge have a starter weapon, or how will we get weapons right away?
Yeah, we're actually going through the process of designing the whole onboarding right now. It's almost finished. And the team will be integrating it, but most likely there'll be some sort of quest in the beginning. Either a quest or just basically a minting process, like an education of how to do the minting process, where you will mint, every player will mint a generic weapon that everyone gets at the start of the game. It'll most likely be a non-tradable item. I mean, either that or it will be tradable, but it won't have much value because every single player will have one. So yeah, it's basically going to be free for everyone. So there will be a starting weapon. Otherwise, it would be a bit unfair to make everyone go around having to punch those shibs. And especially with the updated enemies, Benji, I think it would be completely impossible to kill one with just fists.
I would be very dying.
Yeah, that would be a bit difficult.
I die with a green battle, so I mean, I can't imagine with punching. I tried to punch one to death the other day and I couldn't.
No, that's not going to work.
Although I did see Rabbit manage to punch one to death on his stream. But that was a mini shib. That wasn't a big shib.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I have a hard enough time using 2 of the green candles, so I'm going to need lots of weapons immediately when I start. But that's me. All right. Next question. How do we know when our NFTs are being rented? Like if we connect our wallet, will it show in some way if our NFTs are already rented out for the day?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a full dashboard within the website for people to track all of their rentals. They'll be able to see a lot of just like the key statistics, like how much has been earned, which Bezogis were rented out, the sort of percentage of time that they've been rented out for, the yield that they have, all the basic information that people would like to see, we should have available. And yeah, it should be very simple to see the income of all of your Bezogis as a whole, and then each specific Bezogi as well. There'll be an interface within the website. We may also in the future add it within the game, but I think most of the rental side of the things, and will be handled on the website, on the platform, rather than directly within the game.
In fact, I was going to add, we've been working last week on integrating a web GL portal. So what that means in plain English terminology is on the website.
I'm giving everything away now.
You can experience the game on the website without even downloading the game. So there will be a landing page you can come to, within the new site launch, and it's amazing just to be able to see the game on a site, not even have the game launched, already look around, see a lot of the new updates from Benji. Some really nice features we're looking at in terms of integration already.
Well, I'm excited about that, the dashboard stats, so I can designate a specific NFT to my son and keep track of how much money he's earning me. So that's exciting. All right. All right, last question that I already had written down, but I've got a couple coming in through Telegram. So why do some Bezogi on Opensea have incorrect or missing properties? Example, the age and rarities are not showing. Is this something that we can fix, or do we have to submit to Opensea?
Carrie, I think either it's me that's cut off or you've cut off.
With Carrie.
Yeah, I think we'll ask Carrie indeed.
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now you're back.
Yeah.
You're back.
So your issue was that there some of the rarities are not showing up on OpenSea. Is that what you were saying?
Yes. Is this
Well,
something
number
that we
one,
can fix?
yeah. Number one, we will have our own NFT marketplace before around the same time as the game launch. So that'll make it a lot easier to see up-to-date information. OpenSea is working completely fine. You just have to refresh the metadata of each Bezogi. So there's a lot of people that own Bezogis, and they've either summoned them and it was their origin block, and they've summoned it and they've not refreshed the metadata. But the rarity of every single Bezogi is showing up fine in the API that we created for the metadata. So it's definitely there. It's just a case of refreshing the metadata on OpenSea.
I'd also add, we're looking at updates for Bezogi's metadata in general, in terms of their visual output and what you see in OpenSea when you're searching and viewing the Bezogi listings. So we'll be looking to upgrade them with an animation much like, one of the current dance moves that we've got. So this is dance move number 2. You got dance move number 3, a whole bunch of different moves. So whether we make it interactive or just a basic animation, this will be something really super to look forward to for all the owners of Bezogis and Petzogis.
Yep. There will be, I will say, there will be a significant update to Bezogis and Petzogis in terms of metadata, in terms of graphics, on what you can see on the NFT marketplaces reasonably soon. I don't want to give a timeline, but reasonably soon. We are working to make them look a lot cooler within these platforms, and actually to add some. It sounds crazy, but add some functionality to the Bezogis directly within OpenSea itself. Maybe that's giving away too much, but that's a hint.
Yeah. Okay, you can stop now. I'm going to try.
No, keep going. Keep going. That sounds exciting.
No. I'm going to control myself.
Okay, I've got a few more questions that have been popping up in my DMs on Telegram. All right, so can you explain a little bit more how the 8 additional tokens within the game can add value to our main token?
I mean, the tokens within the game are not necessarily designed directly to add value to the current token, but they do in a lot of ways. What I would say is the main value that they bring is you can earn them from staking Bezoge. So if you stake Bezoge, you're able to get rewards paid in blocks. You may also get some Bezoge in rewards as well. And also we've added support for other tokens to be given as rewards. So it's not just a case of getting, Bezoge back for staking. You'll get blocks, and you may also get some other tokens as well. Without giving away too much. But the main thing is the direct connection through the staking. And I think once we release some information and some documentation on exactly how the staking works, people will be quite shocked with I think they'll be very pleasantly surprised, I would say. It's the way that they are linked is brings a lot of value to Bezoge itself. A lot more value than people originally would expect, I would say. I don't know if Doglord is still listening on Zach's phone, but he knows exactly how the staking works. And I think he'll agree that the connection between the two has changed a little bit in what we originally said. I think it's evolved in a way that brings a lot more value to Bezoge.
Well, all right then. Let's get that staking. I'm excited for it. All right.
I'm excited.
So
very excited for the staking.
Yes, it should be interesting. I'm ready. I'm ready to get some blocks. All right. I'm pulling one more question from YouTube. Lance is asking about the car racing. I know it was exciting to see that image of the graphics with the car races. That was
Oh
it
yeah.
was really cool to see. A lot of people got excited. It was fun. And so are these the types of cars we can expect for potentially player versus player races in Bezogia?
I think the easiest answer to that question is probably just a couple of words. Bezoge cart.
Off the hook.
Nice. Nice. All right. All right.
I think, but
I've
basically
asked
these
a lot.
we did say before we won't have cars just driving around in the main game. We may have some sections that would have some cars on it with maybe mini games and things in the world itself. But the cars are mostly for a PvP arena, yeah, and will most likely be the Speedzogian Bezoge cart. That is, that's to be honest, that's where I'll probably be hanging out all the time. I'll be playing Bezoge cart every day.
I think a lot of people will be right there with you because
I
it
think
looks really
Shahid.
cool. I
I think
want one.
Shahid
I want
will
one
play
of those cars.
like Shahid will be playing that instead of his
I
do you call it?
have
Your racing? What do you call your racing? Remember the name?
iRacing. Yeah,
Your
iRacing.
iRacing. You want the
I'm
iRacing?
canceling.
Every
I'm
day.
canceling that subscription. What are you talking about? I'm not just stopping. I'm canceling the subscription. So yeah. It's Bezogia is going to be my number one for a little while. I think until we release some more worlds, maybe Dark Zogia Bearish will be next. Who knows?
Oh yeah.
But Speed
Bearish
is
is
definitely
fantastic. Bearish looks great. I love Bearish.
All right. I know I asked a ton of questions today, and we've gotten a lot of information. Is there anyone in Twitter space right now that has a question, wants to come up and ask?
One thing I'll say, we had a lot of people on here this week. I think we were over 200. We still didn't quite reach the 500 that we'd like to reach, but it's nice to see that I think we're seeing a consistent growth on the space every week. It really helps a lot if everyone that is on here likes the AMA, retweets the AMA, tells their friends about it, and every week we're consistently growing. It's beneficial for everyone.
I think I'd probably even add, tell your friends and family, like if they've attended other AMAs, just come to our AMA as a benchmark. Really, we're consistent every week with the updates. We know exactly what we're delivering week on week. You see a lot of developments coming from development, soon from website content, across all our channels. So we very much say what we're going to do, and we make sure we try and deliver in a timely and efficient manner.
Generally, also what happens, and I get a lot of feedback from everyone about the AMA timings. And I'm sure we would breach the 1,000 mark, but physically, it's not possible to get the whole team. And I do understand for a lot of our community, it's the first thing in the morning on Monday. And a lot of them are, rushing into work, or a lot of them are trying to listen from work as well. But to the community, the thing is, since the development and the teams are all spread out across the world, from China to the Middle East, unfortunately, this is the early morning period segment that we have to go with.
Yeah. I think if we were to move, we may test this. Sunday evening US time would probably we'd probably get a lot more people online, and we may try that out. I think Carrie mentioned to me earlier that some of the community were asking to do it on a Sunday evening, which is fine for the China team, and it's fine for the US team, but for the Middle Eastern team, it would be at like 4 or 5 a.m. So it's kind of it's a little bit awkward for the Middle Eastern team. That's the problem.
We'll just have to turn it into an IRL event where the Dubai team meets up at a certain location at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we just we turned it into a little bit of an IRL event.
Not even in dream, Zach.
I was just about to say, you better check that with Charles.
Come on, man. Teas and snacks on me, bro. Come on.
No, I just want to sleep on a Sunday morning. Come on. I get the kids every single day at 6 a.m. On the Sunday morning, I'm sleeping. Period.
The first topic of conversation is going to be like, you know how my wife was looking at me when I was leaving the house, guys? It just did not seem right.
Right. Let's get back on. Let's get back on topic, guys.
Yes. Great. I've got Mike up as a speaker.
I saw, yeah, Sir Swifty was on and he disappeared.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't know where he went, but he can request again. I'll add him as a speaker.
Yep. Did anyone else have any questions?
Yes, I do. How you doing?
Good, good.
Good. Quick question. What if we do the AMAs on Sunday, but the same time?
I also
Don't change
will say
time.
during this call, Charles asked me to see the preview of the new website, and then instantly started showing me some bugs on his 49-inch ultra-wide screen that very few people in the world have, that we've not optimized the website for yet.
We've not done
Shahid,
with that breakdown, Charles.
We've not done the 32:9 ratio yet. We'll
Yeah, not the 64-inch wide screen that you might have in your 6 bedrooms. Not yet. We'll do that last. It's the very last. We'll look at the data. If we see it's less than 1%, we're definitely not going to do it.
But this is why I was always putting some like max size in any case, so you never know.
No, for sure. We'll obviously we'll work through all of the various breakpoints. Most important being mobile, but I'm seeing in the data that a large, or at least a growing number of our audience are definitely viewing on TV screens and relatively large screens. So we want to make sure experience works, across all devices, regardless of what they may be.
And Charles, to give you an idea, the first time I bought my ultra wide screen, I went to the website of the screen that I bought, and it wasn't optimized for the ultra wide screen. Right, so it was literally I was looking at the website of the screen that I bought on that screen, and it wasn't up that screen. So very few websites are optimized for the 49-inch widescreen, unfortunately.
No,
but we can do that because I have the widescreen and I have the same issue that you sent me. But I just didn't see a big issue because I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm also QAing for a 49-inch super wide Dell. So that'll be another breakpoint that we're looking at. But we'll do all the common breakpoints first, and then all the edge cases we'll do one by one.
Yeah. It's a 2-minute fix, that problem though, Charles. I know the one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like putting a max wide and this max width, and
it's literally a 1 second fix. Yeah, it's one line of code. I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Mike James, did your question get answered? I know we were just talking about Sundays and the times right as you were coming up to be a speaker.
I don't see anyone requesting to be speaker. Did Mike request, Carrie?
He was actually up as a speaker, and
then he left again.
And I don't know if he lost connection.
I will say I see Garnizo on here. I see Garnizo on here. Garnizo, do you want to come on and tell people about some of the, without giving away too much, of course, just give away the incredibleness of what you're working on right now. I wouldn't say what it is. I can just hear Shahid's voice. Shahid saying, please don't bring him on. He's going to tell everyone too much.
No. G knows the rules. He's not going to tell. I mean, really, when I think about it, wow, just wow. I mean, Granizo, I have to say a big, big thank you. I say to you every time, really, you work with me late hours in the night, as does Carrie and a lot of the other team members. But the creative work that you do really just makes the project enjoyable. Being able to see what assets you're going to develop, whether it's for website, 3D. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we talked about improving the NFT experience. Garnizo has been working a lot on that.
We're going to get you
3D renders was all Garnizo for the Bezogis. So
We're going to get you a 12900 so you can become faster, bro. So that's coming soon.
Okay, so we have Atarik Gupta. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably pronounced it completely wrong. But do you have a question?
Yeah, hi guys. First of all, let me congratulate you on the awesome work which you guys are doing. Lot appreciated. I am an investor in the project, and I am overwhelmed with the project deliverables and the use cases and all the work which is happening in the background. Thank you guys so much. I just have one small question. Can the team share more light on what is Blue Beginnings?
Okay, I can't hear you, but I read the captions. So
Yeah. Any further insights on Blue Beginnings? Just as a
yeah, I read the captions. I gathered that was what the question was. Yeah, I mean, Blue Beginnings is essentially a launchpad. So Blue Beginnings is designed as seen as we have such an incredible community here, and it's going to be growing a lot. I think we expect the following on social media and in all the communities to grow a lot over the next 3 months. Just the near future in general, to be honest, not just the next 3 months. But we want to take advantage of that community and leverage our community to help other projects that we believe are doing incredible things and help them to launch their project through the Bezoge community, and in turn give access to new projects to a lot of the people that are within the Bezoge community and people that hold tokens, because I know it's a little bit frustrating for some people that are within the Bezoge community itself. I mean, I was in the voice chat the other day and someone was talking about how they wished they could have been into Bezoge a bit earlier, and they know that they're holding a little bit less than some other people, even though maybe they put in some more money, right? So they missed out on the early chance. I think Blue Beginnings is a way for Bezoge holders to get access to these projects early, like through pre-sales, also potentially pre-sales of NFT sales. Basically just give access to other incredible projects, and also projects that might be bringing value directly to the Bezoge game and ecosystem as well. Like in the future, there may be projects that are building mini games within Legends of Bezogia itself, and they may have their own ecosystems within that mini game, and we can support that directly through Blue Beginnings and give Bezoge holders early access to these token launches, essentially through a launchpad. So that's what Blue Beginnings is. Does that answer the question?
Thanks very much. Yeah, it answers the question. Is there any expected time when we will start the Blue Beginnings? Is there a time frame attached to it?
There's no specific time frame, but I would expect that our main priority is to get Legends of Bezogia online. It would most likely be after we have launched our game that we would be doing any sort of launchpad things, Blue Beginnings projects. But if there's a great project that comes up in the meantime, before we launch, we're not against launching it on Blue Beginnings. We are actually talking to we're working with some other projects right now, and we may do something on Blue Beginnings through those projects, but that's to be confirmed. As soon as we have some updates on when we'll do any Blue Beginnings launches, we'll announce it on one of our social channels or in the community or on the AMA itself.
It's a good reason to follow and share and subscribe.
Shahid's always trying to hit his KPIs.
Thank you, guys. That's amazing. Keep up.
Okay, I saw Mike came in. Mike is still in as a speaker. Mike, oh, sorry.
Do you guys hear me?
Sorry, I'm talking over you a little bit.
I can hear you, Mike.
Jeff can't hear me, I guess. But I was going to ask.
I'll leave and come back so it fixes it.
I was going to ask about a couple things. The first thing was, after all the initial worlds are done and the game is out, will they be more worlds added on down the road to keep the game evolving and moving forward as far as development, or what we're thinking here?
I don't think there was an initial plan to have all of the worlds released at once. Although I think 3 or 4 of the worlds are ready, Mike, it's likely that it's probably going to be every quarter that will release another 1 or 2 worlds. So there'll be enough expansion at least through to 2023 in terms of game discovery, quest systems, and what have you. So that there is no plan to release all the worlds at once. I think because of the sheer size of the worlds, the discovery and playability between players, as we see the player base grows, then it would make sense that obviously if we need to accelerate 1 or 2 of the world releases, then we would adapt that.
I see. Now, my question was after the initial worlds that we all know about, that's on, Legends of Bezogia. Is there future plans for other worlds added on?
Oh, of course.
Besides the original 7.
So Shield, Zogia, and some of the other worlds will be released in the coming quarter, if that was the question, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, also, Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Also, there's not just 7. Did you say 7 or 10? There's 10.
I said 7. 10, okay.
There's the neutral land with bullish, then there's bearish, which is the dungeon, and then there's the 8 different breeded lands like Zogia, Bezogia,
I see.
There's 10 in total.
And will we have
which will last
like
probably
different
the next
elements?
year? Sorry, we talked at the same time there. But I'm saying that'll probably last around a year in terms of game updates at least. If we see the opportunity after that to add in more worlds, of course we're going to add in more worlds. We also may expand upon the existing world. For example, we can build a whole dungeon system. We can work through all of these different worlds. Can have their own dungeon systems that we can do an expansion. So there's and actually what we're doing right now is we have a couple of copywriters that are putting together content in storyline game. And as
you're cutting up.
Was I cutting out? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was me or your side, but
it's probably my side.
But basically, we have story writers now that are writing a lot of content and know the lore of the game, and we will be basically on a constant basis. We'll be creating a lot of storyline and lore for the world, and the world will just naturally grow from that. So things will come up within the creative process. Worlds will be created. Different areas of the map will be created, but then that's all an evolutionary creative process along the way. But definitely.
I see. And are we going to have different weather elements? For example, snow, rain, high winds, and stuff like that?
I think you saw the same video that I saw today. Someone shared a video saying, will there be rain and when will it rain in Bezogia?
Yeah, it was Bezoge Holder, actually. That's where I got the idea from.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it during the AMA. I was swiping through Twitter and I saw that during the AMA.
Yeah, we kind of have like the effect of high winds already when you're at the top of the cliffs. So it's the effect is there in the sound. But yeah, weather.
Long term.
Like what about tornadoes?
Medium term. Oh, tornadoes would be cool. I'd love to see a couple of ships getting swept up by a tornado. But I think Benji, we've discussed it before. Something we can integrate, like we can add in different times of day, like nighttime, daytime, sunrise, sunset. We can integrate these things. We can also integrate others. There's no issue with doing that. It's not a priority.
That's awesome.
It's not a priority in the beginning. We'd rather get the basic mechanics of the game complete.
Yeah, of course.
And then we'll build upon that. But for sure, I mean, now that the team is bigger, we can also work on these things, I think. But Benji, do you want to give some feedback on adding in weather systems and, the daylight systems?
Sure. That's something that we could do. There are like different kind of ways to do it, and we have to sort of figure out what's the best. We already have some ideas with the existing systems. It would be possible. What we mostly need to think about is like kind of how to make it so it won't have a negative effect on the gameplay. And like, for instance, during the night, there needs to be enough lights to light the world and stuff like that. So we need to kind of find a way to make it so it doesn't impact too much the gameplay, or like if the night is too different from the day, like maybe for new players, if they come into the game and it's the night, maybe they won't have the best experience or something. So we kind of need to make sure that everything is well suited for that. But I think that's something possible, and there are like also different ways we could have kind of like different kinds of weather that could also be interesting.
That's
like
where,
by having different.
That's where Mike, there's a slight difference in something like an MMORPG where people are all playing in the same world. Everyone is at the same time zone, right? Like everyone is, if it's dark, everyone's dark, right? So what you have that's different in maybe a game like Zelda, for example, is you come in and you always start off during the day and you can see everything perfectly. It's all beautiful. And then you play for a while and it gets dark. And then you play for another little while and it starts raining. The problem you have in an MMORPG where the time is not related to one single player is you can't guarantee that. So every single player will come in and have a completely different onboarding experience, because someone might come in the morning, or someone might come in when it's raining, someone might come in a tornado, someone might come in the evening, and everyone has this completely different onboarding experience, and it takes away from the consistency of that onboarding. You kind of want to have a very consistent onboarding experience for everyone. And there are ways that we could do that, like having the onboarding in a slightly different world. But then still, if you go directly from that world into, let's say, that offline world, right, where it's just local to your system and you do your onboarding and go through the initial education and like the storyline at the beginning. But then you get directly dumped into a dark world and you can't see very much, and it's kind of hard to like maneuver your way around. It can make an inconsistent experience, but it certainly is a cool feature that we want to bring in. Like weather is a great idea, definitely, but we need to find a way that we can do it while keeping that consistency of the onboarding, because then otherwise
makes sense.
It makes it difficult for the marketing team as well, right? Because if you think about it, as a marketing team, you want to have a consistent experience for all of your marketing campaigns. And if you have half of the players coming in during a thunderstorm, half of them, like let's say 10% coming in a thunderstorm, another 10% coming in like a tornado, 10% of them coming in the morning, some like sunrise, some people coming in at sunset. And then you're looking at all these data of the retention numbers and all these sort of things that we need to look at internally. It sometimes makes it a bit difficult to wade through the data and work out what's actually working, because some campaigns may show up as working really well, but actually it just worked really well because everyone came in during the rain and everyone loves the rain, and we don't know that it was the rain. We just know that these people came in from this marketing campaign. It adds in a lot of extra variables that make the marketing a little bit more awkward. Of course, it makes the game more engaging, but we need to work out a way that we can.
But I think even before we discuss implementation, probably the reality is for a game to offer a multi-weather, multi-light experience, often that you need to have the highest of hardware to get a really pleasant experience. And I think for a lot of the racers out there, they'll know when you're running night races, your frame rates drop through the floor. All of a sudden, performance is lagging. So one of the key things is it's not only just about implementing the effect, it's the impact hit that it would have on the most basic of machines. Almost some of the games become unplayable with some of the varied conditions that are then required. It works good sometimes. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And one last thing.
It's a balance.
Wait, we could do some of that stuff. Would be to have like different areas with different atmosphere on the maps. Like for instance, let's say in one area it's like of the neutral land, it will be raining all the time, and another place it will be darker, etc. And we could have like different kinds of atmosphere, but it will be based mostly on the geography and not really on the time. And that might be, that might be easier to manage.
Okay. One last question that a lot of people ask on the random Twitter spaces that we all be on. When beta?
No comment. Played the fifth.
No comment, but
I mean,
no,
very
definitely
soon.
not.
Very soon. Is all I'll say.
I think from
I mean, I think
like,
we've
just
communicated this
from
quite a few times on we won't give the exact date. And because there's a lot of variables, right? Things can go wrong. There can be there can be wars. There can be, there can be lots of different things going on that are completely
Pandemic,
out with our control.
lockdown.
We're still targeting. We're definitely like 100% targeting Q2, and we believe we can definitely deliver within Q2. It's about as big as small a time frame as I'm willing to give. Yeah.
That's perfect to me. That's all I had to say. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and Mike, what happens is generally like we don't expect like we'd have like a pandemic shutdown in the China office for like 2 weeks, like these things were, or like let's say a little bit of the server architecture that required upgrading. These things only showed up when they actually happened, so that's why I think the devs don't want to really say anything beyond the fact that we're confident that we can deliver in Q2. And I think as the development keeps happening, as in alpha, you guys keep getting updates, and now with more teasers on weapons and so many aspects of the game coming in, everyone's going to be feeling that reality happening as well. So we definitely want all you guys to, be a little patient and work with us as we work on delivering a quality product as well. That's just kind of reinforcing on what, Jeff is trying to say in a nice way. Or in a blunt way.
I understand that. Well, I appreciate it. That's really all I had to say.
Go. Thank you. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions? I don't see any hands raised.
I'd like to ask one.
Oh, James, I didn't see you were already a speaker. Go ahead.
I just want to say I also look forward to beta, and that you guys are doing a great job. But I was just curious. I think it's got something to do with mechanisms or whatever. But when you play, you can't lose tokens. Like if a shib hits you, or even if I guess you could die and start over. Could you explain why that's you can't do that? I'm just curious because I don't know if it's more fun, but I know in other games I've played, there's sometimes consequences like where you lose all your coins in Sonic, and I don't know what you do. Go ahead.
I was going to say, James, actually, it's funny you mentioned that because there's a bit of a storyline in the lore content. So when you read some of the lore content, you'll see that there might be scenarios where you've just killed an enemy, you think you've earned blocks, and maybe there's a 15-second window for you to secure those blocks where they're open for confiscation from a speed Zoji who's quite fast.
That's while you're waiting for the block confirmation. So after you kill an enemy and collect blocks, we're going to build in a feature where other Bezogis can kill you within a sort of a 15 to 30 second window, and they'll be able to steal the blocks that you just earned. And that we'll call that the block confirmation. And this is sort of like a fun way actually that we can educate people on how the blockchain works. That once you make a transfer, it's not confirmed until the block confirmation is done, right? So you maybe need to wait for 5 block confirmations to get all your blocks secured. And we'll throughout that 30-second window, maybe every 6 second, you'll receive a sixth of the blocks, right? And we'll confirm one block at a time. But that's we are working on ways to add that into the game, because I think it will make it a lot more fun. And one of the new developments on how we're going to structure the tech stack of the game will actually help us to do that, right, Benji? I think with what we've moved in terms of how we're actually developing the game from a server perspective, is we can now do that, and that should make things it makes things a lot easier actually. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I think that's going to be a really. I think we should actually add that in sooner rather than later and test that out once we have some more weapons.
That's going to be fun.
That function is going to be honestly hilarious. It's going to be terrifying if you're playing with some friends and you kill a ship and grab 10 blocks. All of them are going to want to kill you. You're going to have to like run away from all your friends.
You're going to have to leg it.
You're going to have to absolutely leg it right after you kill.
You guys have turned something like a block confirmation, which is a positive thing in the blockchain, into something that people fear in Legends of Bezogia. Like, what's going on? The block confirmations are supposed to be a good thing.
I mean, like,
Yeah, but
leave me
nothing.
alone.
But nothing is guaranteed until it's confirmed on chain. Until there's a block confirmation, that transaction's not gone through, Zach. That's
Yeah,
just
it's that panic. That panic mode while you're waiting for your transaction to be confirmed and ensure you have your tokens in your wallet.
But when it comes to transactions, if it doesn't confirm, I just don't receive anything. I'm not standing at the chance of losing anything.
No, that's true. Well, you didn't lose anything, and you didn't have it yet. You didn't confirm the kill yet. You didn't confirm you collected those blocks yet, right?
Right. I stand corrected. I think you're right.
That's a great cue for guilds, actually. There's another reason, that's a great reason why guilds might come in. They form teams, they form alliances, they'll come up with their own in-game strategies. Maybe they've got an attack plan to go and get all your blocks that you've earned, and you don't know they're working in isolation. But yeah, some of the guild players will often come in with some really advanced strategies on how to get those blocks.
We've got it in the lore. That's the Fudzogi. That's the Fudzogis hiding in the trees. Hiding in the trees, waiting for that kill, and then they pounce and kill you and steal all the blocks.
That's right.
That's the Fudzogi way.
Oh my god, there's so many people are gonna be trolling in Legends of Bezogia.
All right, we got Sir Swifty as the speaker.
What's
Go
up?
ahead.
Sorry, my phone died and my boss called me at the same time before.
How you doing,
So I
Swifty?
know what's going on. How you guys doing?
What's up, Sir?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be trolling you guys for blocks, so just be prepared. Got my dual green candles coming for you. So I heard you mention before about the influencers getting the 6-figure deals. Are they going to be on like? And you might have answered this in the period where I was out of the AMA. Are they going to be on like a vesting schedule, or are they getting like basically the tokens just boom in one shot? What's stopping them from just taking them?
They're vested. They're vested. Yeah, there's a lockup periods, vesting periods. They're on contracts, which state the same. Like Shahid said, it's like long-term deals. They're also on an exclusive basis, so they can work with another project and so on and so forth.
Exactly, Swifty. And the thing is, for us, when we're looking at these partners, it's really about we don't want that one-time hit. We want to form a relationship. We want to grow with our partners. So it's more than just an influencer campaign without giving too much away. But yeah, there are quite a number of metrics we look for in terms of those partnerships. And we certainly don't want someone who's going to partner with us and dump the token the next day and move on to another project. We're really just not interested in those types of partnerships.
Oh, and the partnership that we have for this first one is incredible. I think actually both of them, both of the partnerships, there are several partnerships. Both of the ones that we're closing right now, or will have closed, are fantastic. They're unbelievable. one of them I can't believe that we're doing it. I think Shahid would agree. I think he knows the one I'm talking about.
Absolutely insane. And
the
a
one that
big,
we're
actually,
currently working on, like actually developing the marketing plan and everything, and the actual campaign itself is unbelievable as well. Like what we're coming up with.
really? Oh, really, really, really. And listen, there's one special person, a big thank you to Oscar. Thank you for all the work you do behind the scenes. So, an amazing gentleman. A lot of these things come to fruition from, again, a lot of the hard work the team puts in behind the scenes. Some of the hours you don't know in terms of the conversations and things that go on in terms of getting some of these deals secured. So, a big thank you.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth between lawyers is incredible.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, I've been part of Emacs was a big one that, every influencer that was brought on just dumped the tokens. And, I know some people were like paying out in ETH just to stop that. So I have no doubt that you guys will not, you'll pick all the best people. And, but I had to ask. I'm sure other people were curious. And like I said, you probably even mentioned it while I was off. So thank you.
I mean, actually, some of the people that we're working with own some Bezoge before we even paid them in Bezoge, and they're holding it. So, yeah, we only work with people that really believe in the project, and again, we always sign basically with these people. We always try to work at least a 1 year deal, so they can't sell anything for 1 year. So that's basically how it works.
Awesome, guys. Well, keep up the good work. I'm over there shilling as much as I
Thank
can.
you, buddy. We'll catch up soon, yeah?
Sounds good, brother.
Perfect. Thank you, Swifty.
Thanks, Swifty.
All right. I don't see any other questions. Do you guys want to stop it there? Got 2 hours of content.
Wow, it's about to say it's 2 a.m. Time flies.
I need to go for a munch. It's munch time now.
I have a lot of driving tomorrow, so I need to get to bed.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. And obviously, if there are any follow-up questions, as ever, reach out to Carrie in the community, reach out via our social channels, and we'll respond accordingly. Otherwise, yeah, give you some updates in next week's AMA. I think next week's AMA is going to be super exciting. So, really, I'm already looking forward to next week, Monday. Happy Monday to everyone.
I'm looking forward to seeing 500 people on next week's AMA.
I think we can do it, We're not that far away. Just the arm length away.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Right, awesome, guys.
Hey, thanks, everyone. Thanks a lot, everyone.